Tiri 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 tiri. Ay 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 ay. Ya 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 ya.
Flamenco is a fragile art. It exists on the verges of society, just as the gypsies once existed in the same way. The gypsies have a unique way of expressing the human soul. There's a beauty, there's a passion that is unique, and you see inside somebody in a way that you just don't see any other way.
Flamenco is a traditional music that comes from a small area of southwestern Spain between Jerez, Cadiz, and Seville, where there happened to be a high incidence of gypsies, families who managed to survive and later thrive there. But mostly there were 7 centuries of Moorish occupation. It's widely said that under the Moorish occupation, Spain was in fact a highly diverse and welcoming society, and certainly it was Europe's main center of learning in the Dark Ages. So you have this bedrock of all kinds of traditions, and into this you add gypsies from India. They got to Spain, had tremendous misfortune of arriving during a period of national unification, purification, and essentially ethnic cleansing. After 1783, when a government edict from the king said we will no longer persecute them the way we have been doing, they actually found a place in southern Spain, and in a sense that's something that they haven't done yet in the rest of Europe. Flamenco crystallized in the privacy, in a hermetic situation, as the gypsies were essentially hiding, trying to maintain their culture under tremendous pressure from the dominant society, and it was nothing for them to be sent to the galleys to die, to the mercury mines of Almaden to die. So they can't write this stuff down. They had their own way of saying what happened, and I believe that that's a snapshot of the kind of incidents, the pogroms that occurred in the 1700s prior to 1780. And it's easy to believe that the deep song, the cante hondo, arose among them as a way of, as a testament, as a living testament to this period in their lives.
Deja que la lluvia empape tu pelo negro y con tus labios bésame. Flamenco was born in Spain, so you have 1,000 of people who do flamenco, who go to sleep with flamenco, get up with flamenco, eat flamenco, dream flamenco. The flamenco is from Spain. It's very different. I mean, we got here good artists, you know, can play, good guitar player, good dancers. But when it comes to singing, it doesn't matter. You know how much you know about music or whatever. Singing is totally impossible to do if you are not from, you know, from Spain. Very simple. Imitate the guitar and the dance is easier. But when it comes to singing, you gotta be from Spain to be able to call yourself a flamenco singer. That's all I have to say about that.
Everything is sound. Everything is vibrational frequency. So sound healing is using vibrational frequency in a very conscious way sometimes, but it can be an unconscious way as well. In flamenco singing, there are the sounds that happen in the way they form and shape. These harmonics are coming right out. So the harmonics are like a carrier wave. They're a carrier wave for emotion, and certainly behind that emotion can come healing in your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body.
I was always looking for flamenco anywhere in Los Angeles. Our best flamencos perform on a regular basis in cafes and restaurants.
Well, everybody in flamenco is doing it for the love of it, not for the money. They lose money on shows. And also the performers certainly don't get paid a lot. It's a sacrifice. The music just simply draws you in, and you know, it's hard to find anything comparable. It's a passion. I mean, once you're hooked, you're hooked.
When people would ask me why I would come to the fountain every Sunday for flamenco, my only answer was, they only do it on Sunday. While attending a performance, I noticed the pictures of the performers posted outside the theater. I had just picked up a digital camera after a layoff from photography of almost 30 years. And I thought to myself, I think I can do as well as that or better. The idea was to use 1 or 2 pictures to show the personality of a flamenco artist. Well, I don't imagine there's anybody else that has this library of performers from the LA area. Because all of these photographs are of people in constant motion. Not one of these photographs are posed. They are captures of instants in live performance. This group is representative of the best flamenco in Los Angeles. Any waiter with a towel over his arm can aspire to be world-famous actor and fabulously wealthy. But a flamenco dancer realistically is fortunate enough to be well-known and to have a middle-class existence, because there just are no flamenco dancers that are fabulously wealthy. And that's why I love them, because they do it for the art, because they have to.
I grew up in the household of dance and music, and that's all I know. My father taught me how to play the guitar really in the kitchen, you know, just singing to me. I'm self-taught. So just singing and dancing, and it was just always that environment in our household. I mean, there would be people coming through town, and they'd knock on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we would have parties and juergas, you know, for days on end. And that's where I learned what flamenco is. It's something that you're born with. It's something that comes inside. It's the form of expression. It's in my blood. It's a DNA chip.
As a young child, I was kind of more of a tomboy. I liked sports a lot. I wasn't really a dancer. It wasn't something that I liked.
Not too long ago, I went to the chiropractor, and he told me he was amazed at how I could actually even walk because my feet are so flat, let alone be a dancer.
Si por apellido Rosa, ay sé que te llamas María, y por apellido Rosa, ay vale más tu dulce nombre, ay que el pilar.
First time I was exposed to it was through my mother.
Ay vale más tu dulce nombre.
For me means everything in my life. First God, and second place, the flamenco, and my family, of course.
Four-year-old niece says she wants to dance, but I'm trying to convince her not to. Because she's gonna get hooked and then and not be able to get away.
I remember being a little kid and I was totally obsessed with this idea that through sound, you can tell a story. Sometimes I feel like the reason I found flamenco has a lot to do with my roots, has to do with my heritage. And when I was a little kid, my grandmother, her name is Terres, she made it very clear how important it was to be proud of our heritage. And this is her necklace, and I wear it every day. And so she made sure that my sister and myself got to do flamenco dancing. She had always wanted to do it. Before she passed away, she told me how proud she was that I had made something of this.
I was a school teacher here in LA, and I decided that I was going to quit my job because I really wanted to pursue my dancing. I was living with my boyfriend at the time that I was going to let him know as well that I was moving to Spain. The majority of people around me at the time said, "What are you doing? Are you out of your mind?" I was 25, and they said, you're too old to make a decision like this, and you're giving up your stability, you know, to go chase after this crazy dream of being a flamenco dancer. That took a lot of sacrifice, but it's all worth it because I think that's how we make our contribution to this planet, by doing what we truly want to do. That's how we really affect other people. That's what makes life worth it to me.
My mother was a super famous singer in Latin America in the 1940s and 50s. And my father was a drummer here in LA, a working drummer. My mom retired when I was 1 year old, so I never knew my mother as a singer. She stopped singing to take care of myself and my younger brother when I was younger, and I was really into Brazilian music. And before that, R&B and funk and rock, and then later fusion, and then now flamenco. I guess I am a gypsy of sorts with music, jumping from one to another. Jose Tanaka found out that I played with all these great guitar players, and he said there's a flamenco festival. And what I saw that night, I was in tears through the whole performance, because I had never ever seen anything quite like that in my life. And but I can't live without flamenco now.
Since I was a kid, I wanted to be a ballerina, ballet dancer. So I had to act like a fairy or a swan or whatever. And then, you know, just when you're struggling with breathing, you still have to smile and stuff, you know. But I didn't like that. In the ballet, we learn how to get out of the gravity, you know? You have to be in the air all the time, just be light. But flamenco is completely different. It was more to the earth, to the core of the earth. Right after I moved over here, I had no flamenco. So I was searching on the internet, and all of a sudden popped up was the Berkeley Theater Flamenco Festival in Irvine. After the show, Jose Tanaka, the greatest guitarist in Los Angeles, was playing outside. And then at that moment, my angel just pushed my head and just, God, talk to him, right? We started talking, and next week I was in his garage, starting to practice, starting to rehearse. Then maybe a month later or something, we started performing together.
I am a bad influence to a lot of the musicians and dancers in LA. My father and my uncle, both flamenco guitarists, and my mother was flamenco dancer. And they were crazy enough to name me Jose, which caused me a lot of problem, of course. You know, the kids pick on me when I was, you know, elementary school and stuff. And then I was a teenager. I was into rock guitar too, so I just grabbed my electric guitar and I moved to LA, and I was doing rock and roll. But I felt like that wasn't really meant for me, playing the electric guitar. And I wanted to play some music that's more myself, you know. But now I'm just a full-time flamenco guitarist. I grew up with Paco de Lucía's music because both my uncle and dad were big fan of Paco. Paco de Lucía came to do a tour in Japan. So my parents took the vacation and we followed Paco's tour and went to every single concert from north to south. You know, my parents were that crazy about Paco. For first time, for a long time, he hasn't been in Los Angeles. And then I went to see his concert, and all the memories from the past and all this mixed feeling, you know, brought me to tears. And I got really hooked into flamenco. And then, you know, a year later, I was in Spain studying flamenco.
Ay, ya viene amaneciendo. We are contributing to, we're trying to help the victims of the earthquake and tsunami in Japan. I came from San Diego this morning. I'm an old friend of Jose, and when he said he was doing this and he called me, I said, I'll be there. Just say when and where.
I'm Gabriel Osuna. I'm an old friend of Jose Tanaka here. I called Jose after I heard what happened in Japan with the tsunami, and we talked for a bit. And I told him if anything like this was going to happen, that I would like to be a part of it. We're all happy to be here to try to do something in support of the people in Japan.
Okay, I'm going to dedicate this song, Courage, to Japan. And we, all of us here to support Japan, so we need to send out this good energy to Japan to heal, you know? Okay. Some of the artists in Spain, they say if Japanese, stop doing flamenco, the flamenco will go bankrupt. They even say that, and it's kind of true.
O sea, yo no me puse un día a decir voy a hacer flamenco, ¿no? Solo que desde chico fui creciendo, fui aprendiendo a bailar. Estaba todo el día escuchando discos, viendo vídeos de todas las personas que me gustaban bailando, cantando o tocando. Entonces, pues, simplemente dediqué mi vida a aprender. Para mí, puro es no engañarte a ti mismo. Entonces, si yo bailo lo que siento, pues para mí es ser puro. Pienso que lo han demostrado, ¿no? En el evento que hicimos para lo de Japón, que es una comunidad muy solidaria.
The first thing that I thought was flamenco that I heard was Roy Clark on The Odd Couple, and he played Malagueña, the classical version. And I played it for my mom, and I was like, what's that? And she goes, I think that's flamenco. I have a record somewhere. And then I found a tape of Paco somewhere, and I played stuff that sounded like flamenco. But in retrospect, I had no idea what flamenco was. And I always say it was kind of a coincidence that I ended up liking flamenco because I had no idea what it was when I started playing it. If I now met me then, I would tell myself that I wasn't ready to play flamenco, but I did anyway. I just sort of threw myself into it. I went and hung out in Spain, and it just sort of took off from there. And then when I finished college, I moved to Spain.
I've been dancing since I was 4 years old, and there were times in my life when I wasn't sure about doing flamenco. Should I do it? Should I not do it? But growing up in it for so long, there's no other way. I know I was made to do this, so I'm thankful for having the process of growing up flamenco. I pay to do it. My lifestyle is paying to live flamenco. That's what I do. Whatever money I make teaching or performing, it goes probably to buy a dress or to buy flamenco shoes or to save up to go to Spain. I mean, I do this because I love it and I do the best I can.
My grandfather, we played a lot of ranchera music, a lot of guitar music from Jalisco, Mexico. And he had an old record of Paco de Lucia. And once I heard Paco de Lucia, I just fell in love with flamenco. Basically, I would go to dance studios and just see them practice dancing, the art of flamenco. And I would ask the teachers if I could come sit in and play for their classes. After performing with rock bands, I would go practice cajon, practice guitar, and just be there all day and all night, basically.
This is Antonio de Jerez. He's a flamenco singer in the classic style. When you hear Antonio singing, you are hearing the legacy and the line of flamenco puro.
Y la respuesta mía es de que puedes ir a España a aprender a tocar y a bailar, pero para el cante es imposible, tienes que hacer de ahí de España. Es imposible que una persona aprenda a cantar y diga yo soy un cantador de flamenco. Eso tiene que nacer con el arte y criarte con él y vivirlo. Y nacer en España, punto.
Con la verita partida, con la velita partía, navega mi corazón por los mares de la vida. Navega tu corazón.
Baile, como ya te he dicho antes, el baile se puede imitar bastante bien como el toque de guitarra. Pero el cante es muy difícil, el cante tiene que tener ese acento que hay de allí, entiende la pronunciación de las palabras del cante, el quejío, el eje, todas esas cosas influyen mucho. Y puedes, como ya te he dicho antes, la guitarra no tiene acento en el baile tampoco, pero el cante sí tiene. Esto no es una persona que aprende ópera. Cualquier persona del mundo puede cantar ópera, ¿no? Va y te educa la voz, si tiene buena voz y tiene buen tono de voz, pues ya está, ahí está. Pero no flamenco, flamenco es muy difícil. ¿Vale?
Trocotron, 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 trocotron. Ya no se me espera a mí en mi guanada desde la mañana que detrás del corral. Y yo por esta guarida del alma, que yo por ti me llega capitán. Ay, una vez que te quise fue por el pelo. Fue por el pelo, fue por el pelo. Y ahora que se está caído, ay, primita mía, ya no te quiero.
Especially here in the United States, don't even have an idea. You know, at least the majority of people don't understand what flamenco is. And they don't know the true arte, where it comes from, its origins in southern Spain, and not only just southern Spain, from all cultures around the world.
It's off the cuff. It's something that's instant. It's a natural movement, which is what flamenco is. It's, you know, flamenco is the gesture. And you get a gesture from a dancer, or you get a gesture from the singer, or the intonation of the song, or wherever it goes, and then you follow it along. And then you do something different every single time, like you would in jazz. It's never played the same.
I do feel like an outcast sometimes. It's not something that's very easy to understand. It's more of a language that speaks to you, and you have to get in and understand.
Where I feel most comfortable is on stage, and in regular life is where I feel a little weird. It's not just movement or just percussion, it's a feeling.
The only way to really understand it is to be there. You have to be there.
People always want to know, how do you figure out what is and isn't flamenco? But I always talk about what I call my anti-polka dot manifesto, which is just this idea that that there's a lot more to flamenco than the castanets and the dresses and the hats. I think there's some really bottom line, hard, this isn't flamenco kind of things. And most of those have to do with time. The compás, the measures, you know, what they are, the time has to be the time. There are certain lines you can't cross, and when you cross them, it's just not flamenco anymore.
The compás has to be right on, because if it isn't, it just that's a fine and a ticket.
I see people in the audience sometimes trying to like figure it out, like how they get it for a couple beats, and then they're just like they're just so confused, you know. But at the same time, people are enjoying it. People are trying to figure out what it is that we're doing.
Can just become consumed with the technical aspects of it. But once you get to the emotional aspects, then the ability to bring that to the stage without faking it, that's where you begin to see the real artist coming out.
LA has this air about it. People come from all over the world to do whatever they want, whether it exists here yet or not. And if it doesn't exist, you can still do it here. You can't do that anywhere else.
Flamenco in Los Angeles is independent of ethnicity. Flamenco appeals to so many diverse groups.
There's a dancer called Mario Maya who died recently. And he sort of famously said that in flamenco, the gypsies maintain their tradition and the payos move it forward.
Lo que no me gusta del flamenco, creo que la gente cateta. Y también, sí, la mentalidad a veces un poco absurda, ¿no?
I told my teacher that I'm going to Madrid. And he's like, why? Why are you going there? That's not where you learn flamenco. That's... But anyway, so I didn't know. I go to Madrid. I study with my teacher in Madrid. And I tell them, you know, oh, I'm going to Sevilla. Why are you going to Sevilla? It's not where you learn the flamenco. Here's the, you know, here's the place you learn the flamenco.
I'll admit that there have been times when I've felt like a flamenco imposter because I've doubted my knowledge or I've doubted my worthiness to be on a stage or have other people watch me and what I do because I haven't grown up there and I haven't had the same experiences that these masters that we see performing from Spain have had.
There was a time where maybe I was not feeling so comfortable, you know, feeling a little self-conscious about the fact that I was a flamenca and that I wasn't of the culture necessarily, you know. Well, obviously, I have something in me because I'm Mexican and we were colonized by them for over 500 years, so there's things there, you know.
And everyone says, nah, flamenco is this, no, flamenco is that. And no, it's over here, no, it's over there. No, the real stuff is from here. No, well, you should go to Sevilla. No, but Jerez is really happening. No, but in Granada, it's like, oh, okay, everybody's got an opinion, and they're all right, I think. Nobody's right or wrong. I guess they're all correct, maybe. The trouble is that people don't know it exists.
The flamenco performers are very protective of the art form because they love the art form. I mean, they truly do love the art form. I love the art form. And I think that they want to protect it in the way of having imitators not come in and take away what the flamenco really is.
Flamenco is about listening to the cante, do the palma for it, and then give some more jaleo, which is ole, vamos ya, ole guapa, you know? It does just encourage them and invigorates them. Here, the theater or the stage and the audience are completely separated, you know? But to me, flamenco is more like a kind of audience and the stage is completely getting together and everything is included and creating some good atmosphere together.
Well, I'm really excited about the fact that the flamencos from Spain are becoming interested in what we're doing over here. I guess we have something of what they have inside of us.
Flamenco's a lifestyle in Spain. It's not so much an entertainment. And in this country, of course, and in Hollywood, it's going to be entertainment. Flamenco in Los Angeles is a state of mind. I don't think that Hollywood is the greatest environment for flamenco in the sense that it loses its spirituality. It's more bright lights and celebrity, and things are more about petty comfort than I think it is about, you know, music and art that's true to its form.
I study flamenco in Madrid a lot, but I totally believe that the base of the flamenco is in Triana, Sevilla. And those people are not so into, you know, breast and butt and everything, you know. But those are the all Americans care about in here. When we have a show of flamenco, they expect us to be like kind of exposed and blah and blah, and then that's not so flamenco to me.
Flamenco is a language, you know, and the reason that a bunch of people who have never met each other can get on a stage and say, let's do this, and have everyone think that they've been rehearsing all their lives is because we're all speaking the same language. And the idea of these moments when it's not rehearsed and it's just people having fun doing flamenco because it flows naturally, because you need to do it. And I think the more that people see that, the more they want to come back and actually see what flamenco is, as opposed to, oh, that's a nice thing that was happening while I had my steak.
Pero que tiene la María la Baeza, que hay la portuguesa, tiri 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 tiri, everybody, tiri 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 tiri. Ama, 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 y mi, ama, 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 y mi, pero que tiene la María la Baeza, ay la portuguesa, tiri tiri tiri. Ama, 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 y mi, ama.
Kumpanía. That means, to me, it's like surrounding myself. People definitely who love the arte de flamenco and give it their all and really want to excel and make each other better. Make each other perform at the highest level. Basically, that's what that means to me. It's just striving to be the best that you could be, not necessarily being better than anybody else. But I think with all of us, because in flamenco we need the support of everybody. It can't just be a one-person show of a guitarrista, baile, cante. It's all, we're all kind of, breathing the same kind of air in a sense.
We have a common language and we have a common love. I feel like what I have around me is really loving, supportive, talented flamencos, and I celebrate that. And every time I say goodbye, I don't say goodbye, I just say hasta luego, which means see you later, because I know I'm gonna see them later, and then I just see you, along the way. I know I'll see you along the way.
Lo que me gusta más del flamenco es la riqueza que tiene ese arte, ¿no? Que es inmenso. Pocas cosas en esta vida se puede comparar al flamenco, para mí, ¿no? A mí lo que más me gusta del flamenco es sentirlo. Nada más.
We've been performing together for a few years. Some of them I worked with for like 10 years. So we know each other, really well, and we're like family. I'm fortunate to be able to perform with them. They're good artists, my colleagues. But the thing is, it's important to be a friend.
For me, I have to see flamenco again and again. I mean, when it's over, there's almost a sorrow mixed with the elation and the glow that's physical as well as mental. And I look forward to the next performance, which is never soon enough.
I want to share the feeling with everybody. If it's with one or two people, that's fine. But if it's a lot of people, and we can just share the pain or the happiness, and that's going to create more energy, And then just embrace the human being. Just enjoy the existence on the earth.
Voy caminando, soy yo niña. Yo voy pensando, de San Fernando acá. Voy caminando, tiriti tran tran tran, tiriti tran 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 tran, tiriti tran 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 tran, tiriti tran tran tran, tiriti tran tran tran, tiriti tran 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 tran, tiriti tran 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 tran, tiriti tran tran tran. que yo con mi gente. Ay, si te enamora, prima, si te enamora que tú, si te enamora, ay, no te quedas más que te, ay, no te quedas más que te. Me quedo con los recuerdos de mis antiguos amores, me quedo con la alegría, la tristeza en las pasiones, me quedo con comprenderlo y no vivir de ilusiones, me quedo con los recuerdos de mis antiguos amores. Me quedo con los recuerdos de mis antiguos amores. Me quedo con la alegría, la tristeza y las pasiones. Me quedo con los recuerdos de mis antiguos amores. Me quedo con la alegría, la tristeza y las pasiones. Me quedo con los recuerdos de mis antiguos amores. Me quedo con la alegría, la tristeza y las pasiones.
Thank you.